Picture this. You're at a garage sale. Someone hands you a $100 bill for the vintage lamp you're selling. You look at it. Feel the paper, hold it up to the light. You verify it before you accept it. In the physical world, that instinct is automatic. In the digital world, most people skip it entirely. When someone sends you Bitcoin, if you're not running your own node, you're trusting a stranger to verify it for you. Bitcoin Core exists to let you verify everything yourself. Here's how this verification works. It starts with a piece of software called a full node. A full node is a program running on your computer that downloads every block ever added to the Bitcoin blockchain and checks every confirmed transaction against every consensus rule. Consensus rules are the complete set of rules determining what counts as a valid Bitcoin transaction or block. The word every matters. This isn't sampling, it's not spot checking, it's exhaustive verification of the entire transaction history. Think back to the garage sale. You check one bill by hand. A full node performs that same kind of inspection automatically, mathematically around the clock on every transaction it encounters. If someone tries to send you Bitcoin that was already spent elsewhere, your node catches it. If someone tries to create Bitcoin out of thin air, your node rejects it. It's counterfeit detection for the digital age. Bitcoin Core is the specific full node software most operators choose to run. Its lineage goes back to the very beginning. Satoshi Nakamoto wrote the original implementation before publishing the white paper. The working code came first, the paper second. That original code base was later renamed Bitcoin Core to distinguish it from the broader Bitcoin ecosystem, the network, the currency, the community all sharing the name Bitcoin. Today, Bitcoin Core serves as the reference implementation. Think of it as the official blueprint that other implementations compare themselves against. When developers build alternative node software, Bitcoin Core is the canonical source for how consensus rules should behave. Four major components live inside Bitcoin Core. At the base, the peer-to-peer networking layer. This connects your node to thousands of other nodes worldwide, transmitting blocks and transactions across the network. Above that sits the validation engine, the heart of the entire system. Every block and every transaction passes through this engine and gets checked against the full set of consensus rules. If anything violates a single rule, the engine rejects it immediately, no exceptions. Third, a built-in wallet for sending and receiving Bitcoin directly from your node. Fourth, mining and block construction tools. Here's an important distinction that trips up many beginners. Running a full node is not the same as mining Bitcoin. Mining requires specialized hardware called ASICs competing to earn block rewards. Validation, what your node does, runs on ordinary consumer hardware. Different jobs entirely. Now you know what Bitcoin Core is and what's inside it. Here's why you'd run one yourself. 5 reasons, moving from personal benefit to collective impact. Reason 1, transaction verification. When you run your own node, you verify every incoming payment independently. Most wallet apps don't do this. They connect to someone else's node or a centralized server and trust that server to report your balance accurately. That server could be wrong, it could be compromised, it could lie. Your own node removes that dependency entirely. You check the math yourself. Reason 2, privacy. Every time a wallet app queries an external server about your addresses and balances, it leaks information. That server learns which addresses belong to you, which transactions you're involved in, and how much Bitcoin you hold. A full node keeps all of that local. Your financial activity stays on your machine. No external server ever learns which addresses are yours. Reason 3, developer API access. Bitcoin Core provides a programmable interface to the blockchain. Developers can query transaction data, broadcast new transactions, and build custom tools, all backed by fully validated consensus-correct data. Reason 4, application backbone. If you build services on Bitcoin, a payment processor, a block explorer, an analytics dashboard, your own node provides the authoritative data source. No third-party dependency. Reason 5, network health. Every honest full node independently enforces the consensus rules. The more nodes operating, the harder it becomes for any actor to push through invalid transactions or unauthorized rule changes. Running a node protects you, right? It also strengthens the network everyone depends on. The obvious objection: this sounds expensive and resource heavy. Here are the real numbers. Initial blockchain download, over 500 gigabytes. That's a one-time sync. Daily new data. After that, roughly 400 megabytes per day. The hardware requirement is surprisingly low. A Raspberry Pi, a $35 single board computer the size of a deck of cards, handles it. Thousands of node operators already run their nodes on hardware like this. Storage is cheap, bandwidth is modest, so the barrier to entry is far lower than most people expect. Bitcoin Core evolves through a transparent open source process. Over 1,000 contributors have submitted code to the project. Roughly 12 developers work on it near full-time, with dozens more contributing part-time. Proposed changes follow a formal structure called Bitcoin Improvement Proposals, BIPs. Each BIP is a numbered document describing a specific change. BIP 9, for example, defined the version bit activation mechanism, the standard process used to deploy several major protocol upgrades safely. Every proposal passes through public review, implementation, testing, and activation, all in the open. Nothing hidden. Step back and consider what this means at scale. In traditional finance, you trust banks, payment processors, and regulators to validate your money. A chain of intermediaries stands between you and the truth about your own funds. Bitcoin was designed to eliminate that chain. Every full node operator independently enforces the same consensus rules, the same math, the same checks. No single entity, no company, no government, no developer holds special authority over the network. And that's what decentralization means in engineering terms, not a buzzword. A verifiable structural property. Thousands of independent machines, each running identical verification, each reaching the same conclusion without coordinating. You wouldn't accept a $100 bill without checking it. Bitcoin Core checks every single Satoshi for you automatically, exhaustively, and without asking anyone's permission. If you care about your security, your privacy, or Bitcoin's future, running your own node is how you put don't trust, verify into practice.